Hello everybody and welcome back to Robert's Reviews. Today I'm so excited because I've been waiting to do this series for a long time. For those of you who don't know, which is probably all of you, I'm a huge Harry Potter fan. I've read all the books like hundreds of times, like not even really like that much joking. I've read them a lot of times. And I've watched the movies a lot of times as well, and so I'm really excited to revisit them because I haven't in like 2 years. I reread the books last summer though because I had a craving. I don't have any like Harry Potter memorabilia or anything because I don't really care that much as I do about Marvel, obviously. But when I was younger, this room was just covered in like Harry Potter posters and stuff, and so this series is a long run in the coming. And I've been told, and I have no way of knowing this for sure. But I've been told that Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was actually the first movie I saw in theaters. The movie came out in November of 2001. I was born in March of 2001, so it's possible. But that's what I've been told, and I will stick to that story because that's what I've been told. I literally grew up with Harry Potter, and so I'm really excited today to start off the series with Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone. Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone was released in 2001. It was written by Steve Kloves and directed by the wonderful Chris Columbus. So, this movie, it has a special place in my heart. It really does. It truly does. And for those of you who don't know, basic storyline with no spoilers. There's a young boy who is living with his aunt and his uncle after his parents have died. And he's growing up, and soon he gets a letter from this place called Hogwarts. And it's telling him that he's a wizard. And so he goes to this Hogwarts school of witchcraft and wizardry, and he learns that he's a wizard and that the Dark Lord that cast this curse on him, that gave him this lightning scar, may be back trying to kill him. And it's up to Harry and his friends Ron and Hermione to go about their daily lives working with school and trying to maintain relationships while figuring out what is going on with this Sorcerer's Stone. So this movie is again close to my heart, and I will never not like this movie. I did watch it last night, and I'm not gonna lie, it's not as great as I thought it was. Because like when I went into watching this last night, I was like, all right, this is probably gonna be an A+. I don't even know why I'm watching this. And as I was watching, I was realizing there's some issues with it. Like the CGI is kind of wonky, and like honestly, some of the storytelling devices are kind of weird. And they have a lot of weird cuts. Like they'll just cut from like one day to another day, and like an entire year goes by in 2.5 hours, which is like kind of impressive. But it's sometimes hard to keep track of that. Which down the line they actually do a better job of, right? Because in this one they don't have any like actual winter shots. They just kind of move into it. And I think that like especially in even in the Chamber of Secrets we have these establishing shots where we know where it's winter and all that kind of stuff. In the third one we have that shot of the Whomping Willow shaking the snow off of itself. So I think that's going to figure itself out. I know it's going to figure itself out. So that's always really nice. I think overall the main thing that I really liked about this film was the directing. The directing and the writing here are phenomenal. Steve Kloves is a genius, and if I remember correctly, which I'm pretty confident I do, he writes all of the films. It doesn't say, but I'm very confident. And Chris Columbus, this is the first out of 2 that he will direct. He directs the first one and the second one, which honestly, for him, is fine. I love Chris Columbus. I really do. But the thing about Columbus is that he works with kids all the time. That's like his big thing, right? He did all the Home Alone movies and all that kind of stuff. And he does a lot of kids movies that work really well. And starting at the third movie, they really no longer become kids movies, and I think that's why he kind of decided to step down, which is good. It's good that he knows his limits, but I think he was perfect for these two, because he was able to give us not only just this really awesome like fantasy film, right? It's not only is it a fantasy film, it's also the beginning of a coming of age series, right? And I love coming of age stories, as you can tell. I mean, these are almost all. From here down is all coming of age, teenage novels. And I think that's like, it's important that we ground this in Earth as much as we can, right? Because while Harry Potter isn't real, and it never will be real, you want it to be grounded in, in real life as much as possible, because you want to believe that it's real. there are kids these days, even today, that are turning 11 and are waiting for their letter from Hogwarts. And, like, it's just, it's so cool how they were able to maintain that realness in this incredibly fake world. Let's have some of the performances, starting with Daniel Radcliffe as Harry Potter. I love Daniel Radcliffe. And I actually kind of think he wasn't as up to par as I think he should have been here. He was a child actor at this point, and not a very good one, if I'm being completely honest with you. And a lot of it has to do with lack of experience. He was in like 2 things before Harry Potter. I think he was perfect for Harry Potter, but I think that, you know, as a child, it's hard to, you know, speak with meaning and feeling and stuff like that. And there really isn't a whole lot of that in this film. But they avoided that the best that they can, and honestly, I think it was really smart the way that they filmed this, in the way that they don't have to necessarily go all out full emotion all the time. So I think it was actually really smart that they did that, so good for him. Next, we have Rupert Grint as Ron Weasley. He is actually the opposite of Daniel Radcliffe, in my opinion. I think he gets worse as he gets older. He is really good here as a child. He's one of the better ones, in my opinion. And he's ready to go, and he's funny, but he doesn't have to try very hard because he's the funny one, you know? Like, I don't think that Rupert could have played Harry Potter. I don't. I think that he was definitely perfect for Ron, just being this crazy, weird, you know, head in the clouds kind of character. It worked really well for him. And we have Emma Watson as Hermione Granger. She is just good all throughout the series. She's like never had a dull moment in her life. It's ridiculous. She's perfect. She's the best Hermione Granger we'll ever get. I do think that later on, it's kind of awkward because she becomes incredibly attractive, which really isn't Hermione. But I'm okay with it because Emma Watson's amazing. Overall, a really, really great movie, and again, I grew up with it, so maybe I'm a little biased, but I did really, really, really love this movie, as I do most of these films. There are films in these 8 films that I don't like. There's a couple. And I am doing the Fantastic Beasts movies, unfortunately, and I don't like either of those, so we'll see how it goes. But I'm going to go ahead and give Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone an A. But that's going to do it for me today. Please consider subscribing if you guys like Harry Potter and stuff like that. I release these, what is this, my Monday series? Yes, my Monday series. On Tuesdays, we're doing every single Robin Williams movie, so we're really cranking those out. Tomorrow we have The Survivors. Wednesday, we are doing the MCU still. We're doing the MCU for a very long time. We're going to continue doing it. We're going to be doing The Punisher Season 2 this Wednesday. Thursday, we have Tarantino films, so we're doing 4 Rooms this Thursday, so make sure you guys are tuning in for that one. And Fridays, we do requests and new releases, and Saturdays and Sundays are kind of this weird balance between extra reviews and just for fun videos, so make sure you guys are subscribing, liking the video, and following along. And as always, keep watching movies and television, stay educated, and I'll see you guys in the next video.